As I've mentioned before, I've not done much flat screen gaming for years, so things like RoboQuest just never really drew my attention because I was playing nothing but VR. The original RoboQuest released in early access back in 2020 on Steam, and then got its full release in 2023, which came out to all the major platforms and the Epic Game Store, Steam, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and all that malarkey. And what is RoboQuest? It's a roguelike first-person shooter, and it's been developed by the French indie developer Rise Up Studios, and it was originally published by Starbreeze Studios. The game drew good reviews, and it got a firm fan base. And one of their fans, well, several of the fans, just so happened to have formed Flat to VR Studios and Impact Reality, and they made a trip just out of the blue to go and knock on the publisher's door. They tell them to go and speak to the developers. So again, they went and knocked on the door to the developers and told them their vision of bringing RoboQuest into VR. And Rise Up Studios agreed to this. So there we go. And that is how this project was born. Fast forward to 2025 and we get RoboQuest VR, which is basically the flat screen game, all playable in VR. It has been built. It's not just been ported and converted, it has been basically built using all the assets and all the game into its standalone VR version of the game. So there's going to be no cross-play as far as we're aware for the flat screen, even though the conversation apparently did come up. It would mean a lot of work updating the flat screen version of the game to bring it compatible with the VR version as well. So currently there's no direct plans to do that, but there will be some cross-platform play coming, and the multiplayer is still in works, and that's a little bit down the line at the moment. It is playable, according to the developers, but they wanted to get the single player all nailed, and there's a few things they wanted to work out before they get into the multiplayer launch, but it is definitely going to be worth waiting to get into that multiplayer. This game is fun. It is fun, and I can't think of anything what's going to increase the fun more than jumping in there with a friend and just blasting robots in the face. So I did first play this on the PSVR2 a little bit before launch, and it was a pre-release build of the game, and there was just a few things on there which I didn't quite enjoy about that pre-release build. I'm not going to go into the details because the version everybody got to play at launch is really good, but it just didn't quite click with me. There's something about the pre-release, and then I got access to the PC build of the game. And I jumped in on the PC, and then I really started enjoying it. And then I've gone back and played the PSVR2 version, and either way you play this game on Steam or on PlayStation VR2, you're going to get a very, very good experience. Now, the PC version does have a native frame rate, as far as I'm aware. I'm not quite sure what that frame rate is, but it is a native frame rate. The PSVR2 version is reprojected. It's 60 frames reprojected to 120, but compared to some games like Horizon Call of the Mountain or even the Resident Evil games where the reprojection can be quite noticeable, it's something I've not particularly noticed. I'm not overly sensitive to reprojection anyway, but I don't really notice it on the PSVR2 version. So I don't think it's going to be that much of an issue for people what don't like reprojection. But they are working on a 90 native patch, and that will also be coming down the line. So if you are someone who's super sensitive to reprojection, you may want to wait until that 90 native patch comes. But I don't see it. I've not seen it, what I would class as reprojection in the game. So I think it's so fast paced, but you're just not concentrating on the normal thing of turning, you would notice reprojection. I'm just not noticing. I'm running around, I'm spinning, I'm turning, I'm jumping, I'm diving, and I'm not noticing it because I'm so busy concentrating on the action and concentrating on where I'm firing. So I really don't think it's that much of an issue. I think the way they've utilised the reprojection system is very, very good. There's a lot of roguelites to choose from out there, and there's a lot of different paces. For me, I really enjoy Cosmodread. It's nice and slow paced, and I like the horror. I also like the Light Brigade. It's a great shooter, but it's a little bit more tactical. This is very, very fast paced, but the more I play, the more I want to play. There's so many upgrades for this, so many different ways to play. You've got different classes. all the different weapons, many different environments. There's a lot of content within RoboQuest. I don't think you're going to be disappointed with things to do and things to collect. There's a lot of progression here, and it looks great, it feels great, and when you get into that rhythm, you just want to keep playing more. And I think no matter which platform you play on, if it's on PlayStation VR 2 or if it's on Steam VR, I think you're going to have a really good time. Fans of RoboQuest on the flat screen, if you're into VR, you're going to love this. Anybody what's into roguelites is going to really enjoy this. If you just like a fast-paced shooter, you're going to really enjoy this. Either way, guess what? You're going to really enjoy this. If I have to choose right now which way I'm going to keep playing this game, I'd probably have to say I'm going to play on PCVR. I just think the fidelity's a little bit higher on there with my rig. You know, I am running this on a 5070 Ti, so it looks pretty spectacular inside my headset. But I do miss the haptics of the PlayStation VR 2. So it's entirely up to you how you want to play. I think, like I said, you're going to have a really good time no matter which platform you're playing on. But the increased haptics and the adaptive triggers on the PSVR 2 and the headset rumble kind of makes that a little bit more immersive. But for me, I kind of like how it feels and looks and the quality. Just that little bit extra on PCVR for now. That's not to say, but it's anything lower standard on the PSVR 2. It is very, very good looking. I like using my PCVR at the moment. I've really got into the PC side of things, but either way, I've not played this game long enough to give it a score. But off the top of my head, it's a pretty good one. I'm not played enough to give this a score just yet. But if you like what you see, all the details are in the description. Hit that like and subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself out there. Peace and love. Bye bye.
Something that we'll never forget.